All right, we're here today with Baker University head men's basketball coach Sean Dooley. Coach, a pretty successful week last week, a nice win over Benedictine at home, and then you go wire to wire with rival Mid-America, falling by just 2 points on Saturday. But talk about last week and some of the things you liked out of your team.
Well, first off, I thought in both games that our energy and effort level was pretty high, and as a result, we put ourselves in positions to win both those games. Fortunately, we were able to hang on Wednesday at home against Benedictine. And then on Saturday, we came out really well in the first half, built ourselves, I think, like 15-point lead, and like what good teams will do and what you expect in this league, especially on their home floor. Mid-America came out and got right back in it and still had a chance to win down the stretch and didn't make the plays necessary to win. So I think the biggest thing was going off last week. I thought our energy and effort was good and where it needs to be to put yourself in those positions. And then bottom line is to win close games, you're going to have to execute. And we didn't execute on either the offense or defensive end down the stretch to allow us to win those games. So it's something that we got to learn from, and hopefully we can continue to put ourselves in those positions and learn from previous mistakes and get a couple of those where we can finish them off the right way.
Yeah, last week we were talking to, we were hoping to get a home victory. It had been a while since we won a conference game at home. They did that against Benedictine. What was it? The crowd, it was a nice crowd, but, what was it that brought that energy out of your team on Wednesday?
Well, the crowd was great, Tyler. I think we've talked about that a couple different times, and I know our guys have mentioned it too. And that helps, and not just from our standpoint, but it does kind of have an impact on your opponents normally as well. So that was great to see. But a lot of times we had a lead, and we're able to, and we didn't really make some plays. Towards the end, I thought we had some uncostly turnovers that allowed Benedictine an opportunity to kind of get back and really have a chance there to kind of tie the game or make it a one-possession game. So, we weren't perfect by any means there down the stretch and really didn't get some stops because Benedictine hit some shots. But we made some free throws, which allowed that make it a little bit more difficult for them. Which was something we didn't feel like we didn't do well enough on Saturday. So, a lot of times in those close games, those one-possession, two-possession games, it's taking care of the ball, getting good shots each time. But then also, when they're fouling or you get opportunities, you go to the line, you got to convert. And in this league, not just, it's been that way with us, but it's that way with a lot of games. They come down to the last couple minutes, one or two possessions, and you got to be sound defensively, offensively, and take care of the ball. Don't give the opponent any extra possessions, and when you get to the line, you got to make those free throws or hit big shots. And most of the time, the teams that do that come out on top.
Now you'll bring in a Avila team Wednesday that features, arguably the top player in the conference in Cedric Johnson. They also have a guard Epps that averages over 20 points a game. So, with that being said, how do you hope to neutralize those two guys and take home another home win?
Well, it's going back to first off is, it's been a long time since we played Avila. We played them, I think, it was maybe the very first conference game of the year at their place way back in November. Their team has changed like a lot of us. You mentioned the addition of Epps there, who's we're somewhat familiar with, was in the league a few years back, but now he's there, and it's really about as good a 1-2 punch, and not just in this league, but really in the country, both at the guard position and can really score and score in different ways. So they put a lot of pressure on you defensively, but again, obviously they're key pieces, but they got several other good players as well that can hurt you in different ways. So whenever you're going against Avila, first off, you got to match their intensity. They're a very tough team. They play extremely hard, and they come at you for 40 minutes. So you got to match that energy level if you want to have a chance. And then on the defensive end, having two guys that can go get theirs and score. And really, Cedric's a great scorer, but he impacts the game in so many different ways, all-around player. It's just going to be a total team challenge for us to you're not going to stop them. You're just going to have to try to slow them down and limit their opportunities, and that will be our game plan going in.
Then you hit the road Saturday at Missouri Valley. That was a game, close game here at home that could have gone either way, but it did go in the favor of the Vikings. Recap that experience for us and what you hope to accomplish Saturday.
Yeah, the last game against Missouri Valley, they did come in here and get one, and it was just kind of a game where we didn't really feel like we had much flow except for at the very beginning, and credit them defensively for doing that. And I do think it's a team that has gotten better as well as us since that time in early December when we played. I think the game will be much different, and most of the time when Baker and Valley play, they normally come down to one or two possessions, or at the very end, at least over the last few years. So I'd expect the same thing there. But they've got another player in the guard in Grunwald that's a very, leading them in scoring. But then they also have several bigs that have given us trouble in the past and had good games against us the first time too. So they got a good inside-outside combination there that we'll have to worry about. So should be two exciting games, and I know if we want a chance to be successful in either one, that we're going to have to play well. And our guys know that. They learned that quickly, and I think the way they've played and come out and ready to play, I think they respect everybody. And but I also know that they're building a lot of confidence, and they're confident in the way they're playing. And so we'd expect two hard-fought matches both on Wednesday and Saturday.
And Wednesday, we will see you and your staff wearing sneakers as part of the Coaches versus Cancer campaign. I know this is something you've taken part of in your time previous to Baker at Columbia and now here. But talk about this event and what it means to you.
Yeah, it's really one of the neat things that college basketball does, not just at our level. It's a global thing. It's even down into high school. But this whole week is really all about raising funds and awareness for cancer, and it's Coaches versus Cancer, and why everyone's wearing their tennis shoes with their suits to bring awareness. So hopefully we'll have a good crowd and be able to raise some dollars for the American Cancer Society, and really that's what it's all about. That hopefully I know that we've made a lot of advancements in cancer research, but we're not where we need to be. And hopefully, who knows, maybe some of the dollars that were raised in Collins Center are what helps us get over that over the top and in this battle. But that's what it's all about. It's a great deal, and you'll see it here in Collins, and you'll see it on ESPN and everywhere else as coaches will be wearing their sneakers all throughout the week.
Well, thanks, Coach. We'll see you Wednesday night.
Thank you.